Good icebreaker.
I want to welcome you into the show, Sir Will. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here too. I'm excited because we've been seeing you make moves for a minute. You know, we're new to the market and trying to pay attention to who's doing what and really show, try to give people opportunity to talk about their adventure and their journey.
Their art, their music, everything
and
that you're doing.
You work hard, man. You're grinding. I see you uploading songs and you out there and you're doing stuff and you're talking to people. And my first question, I sent you the question, where are you originally from? Are you from here? Or?
No, I'm from Compton.
Oh
California.
my gosh! Okay, what brought you to this area?
My brother, he actually was starting running back for a little bit at ASU.
Oh my gosh!
So he was
sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
So he was running back at ASU, and I was in Cali, and it was that part of my life where right after teenage years and where it's really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're really
make or break time,
and it was crazy. It was hot out at that time. We used to call it hot out. So it was crazy at that time. And my brother, was out here in Arizona, playing football, doing his thing, and staying out of trouble. Was on the right path, and was like, listen, man, 5 people got killed on our block that week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of those situations.
So it's real hot.
Yeah,
he didn't want his brother
exactly
to end up on the news.
He knew what route I was going to go. So he was like, listen, you need to come out there. I came out here kicking and screaming. I was like, man, I'm not going to Arizona. There's nothing here. It's the desert. Ain't nothing. You know what I mean? And when I got out here, I finally moved out here and
you saw it was dope.
I saw it was dope. I started walking to the gas station at 1 a.m.
There it is, right?
Worried about anything. I was and we were in Mesa, so he was in Mesa.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of college kids around. So I'm like, you go to the gas station like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you can do that over here.
Y'all set up shop and start trapping out the dorms?
You know what
I mean, I was like, better custodies at the college campus, you know what I'm saying?
Right? You know what I mean?
So you're here. When did you start doing music in Compton, or was it here that you discovered your love and your talent for music?
In Compton. When I was a kid, DJ Quick which is a god to us, right?
Yes. To us too. Yes.
DJ Quick. Well, I forget he has a huge presence in Arizona too.
Yeah.
But
that's a
I met
a
DJ Quick
worldwide
probably.
name.
I mean, I'm gonna age myself probably 15 years ago, and I was at a Mix Show Power Summit, and he and I were riding in a cart because his room was next to my room, and I got to tell him, I was like, man, I blew my first pair of speakers on your music. And he told me, he was like, that is probably the nicest thing you could ever tell me.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Well, DJ Quick, he performed. Where I grew up in Compton, we had a block party every summer.
Yeah.
And he performed at our block party. And it was dope because
man.
they had to hook up their equipment to our garage. That's so they had to hook up their equipment to our garage. He came out, I think I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. He came out in this big white van and he hopped on top of the van, and the whole block, the whole neighborhood's going crazy.
And that just made that impression right there. Like, that's what
I'm
want
gonna do that.
It was over. It was over. When I saw that, and I was that close to him. I'm 8, 9 years old in the middle of the crowd. My parents was like, where's my son? Where's my son? But
He's screaming, "Sweet Black
Rocket." Yes, that's the worst part. That's the worst part. Is my language was pretty bad.
I was gonna say, you better not say that. You can say it, but don't.
Don't say it.
So who's your biggest supporter now? You talked about your brother. Does your family, like, they support everything you do?
Yeah.
Were they a little apprehensive at first, though? Like,
See,
what?
I got lucky. My dad was, I'm gonna be honest, he was a hard-working man, but also was a hustler. So he had that street mentality, and for him to see that I wanted to do music, he knew that would be a way for me not to fall into what I could have been falling into. So he supported from day one. He took me to my first studio session ever.
Dope.
Oh
Like,
my gosh,
you know what I'm saying?
that's
So
amazing.
I got lucky. And I got lucky because I grew up with both parents. Parents been married 40 years. So growing up where I come from, like, that's not common. So that's why, you know what I mean, got a little bit better head on my shoulders.
It's interesting. Go ahead. Ed.
Did people ever make fun of you for having both parents at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It was weird. It was like you're like,
But that's like a hood thing.
he
It's
lives at
like,
home
you
with
got
both
2 parents?
You know what I mean?
You know your dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's interesting because I didn't grow up with my father. I don't know my father. Otto grew up with his mom and dad in the home, married, like your parents. And your dad was a part of your life, but he was in and out.
My dad was in and out of my life, and then I grew up with a stepfather too.
It makes a difference to have 2 people involved in the activities of a child.
Just
I was
caring
raised
about
by a
your
single
well-being,
mother.
yeah.
I was a single mother. It's hard when you're alone with that one income household trying to earn a living and watch and
play
do
both
and
roles.
act. Yeah, I told this story. I said, man, I let my daughter quit violin because I was like, damn, good. I don't have to take her to practice.
Yeah, so,
That's
yeah,
a
right.
horrible
Yeah,
thing.
but it's facts.
That's
it's facts.
awful. You know,
Yeah.
your parents were like, I'll take you to the studio. I would have
Yep.
been like, I got to go to work. Mija, you got to.
100%. My dad didn't miss a football
It's
game.
horrible.
He used to, when I played freshman year, you know, you're a freshman, you play your games like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Like,
Daytime.
middle
Yeah.
afternoon.
You know what I mean? So parents at work, like my dad was like, no, I don't miss none of my kids' games. He's big.
Man,
My
that's
dad at
beautiful.
ASU, he got a letter because my dad, we're loud and he's the loudest one. He got a letter for yelling at the coaches for my
There we go.
brother not getting enough carries. They sent him a letter in the mail. It was like, can you imagine that many fans and you're the one fan that gets a letter in the mail?
Stop
Can you
yelling,
stop
sir.
yelling? So I had that kind of a father figure. So I was lucky.
I love that. And I think that's a great message for anyone who's watching this or listening to this. The more involved you are in your kid's life, the more successful. Encourage their dreams. Encourage them. What's your latest song? Like what you
Yeah,
got?
well,
What's
I
on
got
the
a question for
roster,
you though
man?
before you tell about what inspires like your music. What do you when you're writing a song or you're how do you do it? What's your process?
Yeah, my process. I'm not I'm not gonna front like I'm the Jay-Z and that just comes in my head and then it just comes out. But my process, I like to normally be alone, right? If I'm in the studio and I'm creating with other people, I'll do it that way too. But I normally like to be by myself and just gather my thoughts. And then typically I repeat everything over and over and over. If you ever listen to my music, you're gonna get a certain energy from it.
Okay.
And
Yes.
it's because when I write it, I rap it with that same energy. So I have to say it over and over because I have to know how I'm going to deliver it when I go to record it. So I'm typically very loud. I'm sweating. You know what I mean? I'm really, it's like I'm performing while I'm writing.
I was
That's
gonna say,
kinda
but
how I
that's
do
good
it.
though because
Yeah.
when you hit the stage, you're already gonna get that energy going.
I've been on stage since I was kindergarten. I was part of the Jackson 5. We did,
I love
we
that.
did the Jackson 5 in my kindergarten class. I
Where's
was
that
Michael
video?
though.
Where's that video?
Yeah, I gotta find it.
You
I gotta find it. I
should.
need to. I was Tito. I was
That-
Michael though. I was Tito. I was backup.
That needs to be in one of your music videos.
Yeah,
You need to put that in there.
Yeah, my mom. She got me. I had the wig and the little afro. I had
Oh,
everything.
dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to keep the Compton 5 on ice.
Yes,
You might have to keep the
right?
Compton 5 on ice. Let that
But
sit
I
in the
love
vault.
that, like, we talked about, we lost Mac Miller at a very young age, right?
Yes.
He would have been 31.
Yeah.
I love watching those old videos of him, Drake, when he was little doing
Yeah.
that. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Who were your biggest, besides Quick, biggest influences musically?
So you have. I got I'm well rounded when it comes to music. Like, so you got your Jay-Z's, your Nas.
Because I noticed you
yeah.
mentioned Jay-Z right away.
That's one of my inspirations too. But one of my favorites all time, top 5, is actually Twista.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, he's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people
that's-
don't give him his flowers enough, but Twista's
Man.
one of my guys. And of course, you got your Tupacs, and then
Yeah,
your
of
today
course.
your Drakes, your J. Cole's. You know what I mean? People like that. And my cousin actually, his name's Rhythm D. He actually produced my single "Wait Up." He's an inspiration because when I was young, he was the superstar of the family. He produced Real Compton City G's for Eazy-E.
Oh, he
Oh,
did.
wow.
Yes, he's the producer. So in the video,
That's
when
one
it
of the
first
dopest
starts-
beats of all
of
time.
all time, right? So when it first starts and you blowing the smoke, that's my cousin. He's the producer.
Can you
my
give me a
God.
clean version of that though?
Yeah, of course. I ask him.
Because I've been trying to play him at the Suns game, even though
I'll
the
hit him up.
instrumental, it's got the
I hit him up.
okay.
He
Will,
literally-
Will comes
yeah.
in for an interview. Otto's like, yo, I need this.
I
Can I get a clean
got.
version?
Listen, one thing I tell people too is talk to him one day. Like he was originally one of the first Death Row producers before, and I tell him he switched sides because he was the original Death Row producer, and then he went over to Ruthless with Eazy.
Oh,
So like
wow.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he was one of the original Death Row producers. He's in Tupac's book. Like he produced for Tupac, he produced
Wow.
for Snoop, he produced for
He's got
all those
stories.
people. That's what I'm saying. You get in the room with him and he starts telling you how Tupac really acted and stuff. Man, it's insane.
he's a California OG.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
real he's
Yeah.
a legend. He's
Yeah.
a
You
legend.
think about Tupac, like in the body of work that he left us, and,
Yeah.
and the foresight that man had at such a
Yes.
young age.
100%.
So you just said your new single. What's it called?
It's called Wait Up.
Okay, all right. And you want that one to go viral. You want that? What are your plans? Like, what are you doing to get to the next level?
Yeah,
Like,
one thing
it's so hard. You
it
know,
is.
it's so hard.
It is. But the one thing I took at it as far as this goes is the business, right? So like it's not just the music. It's like so when you put the song out, nothing's done, right? The
No.
business part's the
You gotta
hard
work
part.
it now.
So like I have my own PR team. I have, to me, one of the best managers in the game, Tony Renee, who's, you know, if you
She's
see her, you see
right
me.
now.
Like she's an Arizona native. Like, so she bleeds AZ, and you know what I mean? And she knows everyone here basically. So like we're doing it the right way. Like with my PR team, we're doing big things with Wait Up. It just got submitted by MTV for a VMA.
Hello.
dope.
Hello.
Like
Hello.
you know what I mean? We're actually trying to actually do stuff.
And I saw you were just on with Fat Joe.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So Fat Joe last year hit me up. He seen what I was doing, just looking, and he was like, "Hey man, you're dope. Like, I want to bring you on my live and see what you do." So I went on live. And
How nervous were you?
Listen, asked her. I was there. She's my manager. We're sitting there in my house setting up the camera. I'm sitting there sweating. She's like, "You gotta wipe your head off." I'm already sweating. I ain't started to do nothing yet.
Don't wear gray.
Yes. Yeah, right? And then what made it worse, then my nephew, I wanted to kill him because he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, you know, Swiss Beats is on there too." I'm like,
Oh my God.
I'm like, man, don't tell me that. So, but I killed his Swiss Beats, put the fire emojis. He was like, he's hot. Fat Joe, you know, stabbed me, and he's basically
That's two major cosigns.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Fat Joe said he wants to work and do some stuff in the future.
Well, I want to say congratulations
Thank you.
because you're already on the right path.
Thank you.
And everybody says, oh, when you get that major hit, be like, oh, it's an overnight success. It is it's a marathon the whole way.
Yes.
And I love that you said that your manager knows the city, because I remember you speaking of OGs, you know who Bun B is?
Yes, of course.
I'm from Texas, so like
Okay.
I thought everybody knew who UGK was, and I moved.
It's crazy they don't.
It's wild. So I remember I interviewed Bun B one time, and he said, you got to run your city before you can run the world.
100%.
So you're on the right path. Congratulations.
Thank you
We're
so
so
much.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
I appreciate it.